you need to train all physical qualities. So what are physical qualities? Well, physical qualities are just something that people use to classify certain attributes in sport. So you can talk about physical qualities being strength, speed, power, agility, conditioning maybe. You want to have a good program, you need your program to cover all these bases. So why train them all? It sounds a bit overwhelming, but you have to train all these qualities because your sport asks of you to train all these qualities. When you think of a sport, think about what the sport asks of you as an athlete to be able to survive the sport. If you're playing rugby, you have a bunch of people tackling you and you have a bunch of physical contact, so you need to be able to be strong. You need to be able to survive the sport. So that physical quality is a physical quality that will help you being strong. Most sports tend to ask a bunch of qualities. I don't think I can think of a lot of sports that only ask of you for one physical quality. I can only maybe think of track athletes maybe and field sports like the javelin throw and all those type of stuff where it's really one singular thing that you need to be good at. But still then, being good at those qualities can still help you. But when we're talking about field sports, like more like rugby, football, basketball, all those type of stuff, you need to be fast, you need to be agile, you need to have good conditioning, you need to be strong, and you need to be powerful. And the funny thing about these sports is you need to always be those things. You always need to be proficient. You can't just only be strong for one game and then the next game you'll be fast. So really you always need to be proficient at all of this stuff. And how physical qualities work is that when you train them, they get better and better. And you also maintain them by training them. Once you are fast, you don't stay fast. You always need to keep training. Obviously, if you have a really good base, you'll be lucky and it will stay longer than maybe someone who never really had a good base for speed. But it will subside. And that is how physical qualities work. You need to train them to keep them and to train them to better them. That is why it's so important to train all these qualities year round to a varying degree. So what do I mean by a varying degree? Well, by a varying degree, I mean you don't always have to train speed full out. You don't always have to train building muscle full out. You'll probably never be able to fit that in your program. Your body will probably never be able to handle it. But to a varying degree, you'll always be training all of these qualities. So we can't go through periods where we just don't focus on speed. A lot of kids fall into the trap being young. I also did it. You want to get big for your sport. You say, okay, well, this year I'm playing with people a year older than me. I only have to get big. So I'm just going to put everything on the side. And then you come there and you move like shit. So at the end of the day, it doesn't help that you get big because you need to be big and fast and agile. So you can never just focus on the one thing. You need to be able to do all of those things. So your program isn't a good program if it leaves deficits in your training. These blocks of training also don't make sense. If you put a whole 4 weeks out for just hypertrophy, you're not even going to gain significant muscle in just 4 weeks. So it doesn't make sense. Same thing with speed. You can't have a sprint block for 3-4 weeks. You'll never gain speed. It just doesn't work. And at the end of the day, if I'm going to take speed as an example, if you're going to neglect speed, well, the first thing that's going to happen in your blocks is you're probably not going to be as fast as usual. You're probably going to lose some speed. And second, you're not going to be prepared for the demands of sprinting. So hamstring strains happen a lot in these cases. A lot of small injuries happen because you're not prepared for those demands. So you always need to stay prepared. To be a good athlete, your physical attributes need to be generally well developed all around. Don't be a one-trick pony, because the sport will throw out different stimulus, different stresses towards you because sport is chaotic and you need to be able to take whatever it throws at you and be able to survive it and thrive in it. That is how sport works. So when you're thinking about making your own little program, think about that. Try and think where you are in your season, what you're going to do, and try and incorporate as many of these qualities as possible. You can focus on one a bit more, but you can never leave the others out. Recently, I also released my Total Athlete program, which follows this concept to the T. And if you want a training program that really follows all this type of stuff, includes getting you faster, getting you conditioned, getting you more agile, getting you stronger, and building some muscle, Total Athlete program is the one for you. It's just a 12-week program with 5 workouts per week, split into 3 phases, 3 gym sessions per week, and 2 field sessions as well. So check it out if you're interested in having a really good training program.